So everybody, this is the brand new HiDock H1, a ChatGPT powered audio dock that not only gives you AI summaries of all your meetings and what you're listening to, but also gives you bidirectional noise cancellation, and all in all, a bunch of buzzwords, but it's functionally amazing. Let's talk about it. So let's start off with the unboxing and the packaging. Everything is extremely tidy and premium. So you get the HiDock H1 itself in this nice microfiber bag. You get a 150 watt power brick, which is going to power the actual dock, as well as all the different peripherals that you have attached to the dock. And then also you get the wireless headset, which attaches via magnets and pin connectors to the HiDock itself for those meetings that you're going to eventually be recording, and then ideally getting those AI summaries. So you're going to get two 4K 60 HDMI ports. You also get a 2.5 Gbps Ethernet port on the rear, so for hardwired internet, which is awesome to see. You get two SD cards, one micro SD and one regular SD card for fast transfer speeds. You get two USB-C ports on the rear, one that goes to the computer like we mentioned earlier. You also get an additional USB-C port on the side of it to give you 18 watts of power pass-through. And then you also get two more USB-A ports, one which is a 3.2 Gen 2 port, and then another one that's a 3.2 Gen 1 port to give you that fast data transfer speeds regardless of which one that you're actually using. So now let's look at the front of the HiDock H1 because it is very aesthetically pleasing, it fits that Apple aesthetic nicely, and it has a bunch of stuff that you don't normally see when it comes to a docking station. So the first thing that I personally noticed is that big speaker on the front, and that's going to be your actual speaker that can be used for not only things like meetings to be listening out loud, but it's going to work for any audio that you're going to be using out of your computer. You also have 4 different buttons, an actual slider on there for noise cancellation, and then obviously your volume knob, which can be also pressed down as a 5th button. So the 4 buttons, the first 2 are going to be to answer a call and then also to hang up the call or end the meeting, whichever one you're dealing with. Then you also have the HiDock key. So at any moment, no matter what audio is being listened to, you hold down that HiDock key for 1.5 seconds, which then initiates the audio recording of whatever is being listened to through the HiDock speaker. And then after that's done, you just press it again for 1.5 seconds, and then that's going to be stored on device on the HiDock itself, and then you can summarize that with their software, which we're going to touch on in a little bit. And then finally, like I mentioned, you do have your slider on there, and that slider is just going to allow you to create a better noise cancellation on both sides. So for instance, if you're speaking to somebody who's taking a meeting on the road and you have like engine noises or people chattering, you just slide that up and it's going to lower their volume just a little bit, or at least their dialogue and their vocals, but it will really kind of minimize the volume around it, which is canceling all the noise around it, to make it easier for you to listen to whatever that person is saying, which I thought was outstanding. Now let's talk about the AI piece of it and what you can actually use this for and why this is going to be so beneficial moving forward. So first and foremost, like I mentioned, this is a ChatGPT powered AI assistant, which allows you to actually record any audio that you're listening to and then store it on device itself. So whenever you are done recording whatever you're listening to or whatever meeting you're in, you can then actually upload it directly to HiNotes, and then it will transcribe it and then summarize it using ChatGPT to give you the best pieces of that entire meeting. Because the last thing you want to do is listen to an hour's worth of a meeting when in reality you only need 5 or 10 minutes worth of it that can then be noted down and transcribed perfectly, so you're able to revisit it whenever you need to. And as part of your purchase of the HiDock H1, you do get a membership of the HiDock Device Owner membership, which gives you all the basic features and everything that you would need from a transcription, AI summary perspective. But then you also have the ability to upgrade to a Pro membership, which basically gives you unlimited features throughout with unlimited voice recordings and unlimited minute restrictions and things like that. So if that's something you want to look into, it could be worthwhile. And then of course you can even translate these transcriptions to over 57 different languages, which is very beneficial. You can export these transcriptions and export these AI summaries and put them into whatever software you see fit. And then of course you have the E1 headphone, which is a wireless headphone you put on one ear or the other. It is bi-directional, so you can kind of put it on the right ear or the left ear, which is nice. So there's no worry when it comes to what ear you prefer, but it is very clear. You're able to talk directly into it. And what's nice about this is that when you are summarizing your notes or when you are recording and transcribing, it'll know that whenever you're speaking, it is speaking from the earphone itself, so it kind of lets you know who is speaking during the ChatGPT summaries, and then it'll let you know when the other side is speaking as well. So at the end of the day, you know exactly who is saying what, and then when it is summarized, there is some context there to know exactly what is needed to be summarized and what's important and things of that nature. So if you're somebody that is constantly in meetings throughout the entire day and you're taking notes and you're taking time with those notes, especially when it comes to recall and maybe forgetting exactly what's going on, this ChatGPT powered dock is going to be a game changer for your workflow. So the HiDock H1 is available today from HiDock themselves, and that includes everything that you've been seeing in this video, from the HiDock itself, as well as the E1 earpiece and all the power supplies that I mentioned earlier. But let me know in the comment down below what you think. Is this something that you would use on your day-to-day basis, something that you would find useful? And big thank you to HiDock for partnering up with 9to5Mac and sponsoring this video. I think this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people. But until next time, everybody, peace.